That's my nephew Abel. He loves these shoes. I came in walking in one day and he's looking at them and he's like, Drew, those are blue. I can't really get his voice because it's so high-pitched because he's 4 years old.
Oh.
But he's like, they're blue. So then just 2 days ago, I come in from work and he goes, Drew, guess what I got? I got me some new shoes. I was like, cool, man, what'd you get? Something just like you. I got some blue ones and then I got some black and red ones. I'm like my old shoes? He was like, yeah. I was like the ones that are probably spider infested that are sitting in my garage? Yep. Like, awesome. Anyways, guys, I'm going to talk about Saul, who became Paul, which is a person that wrote, as Josh didn't say, he wrote 2/3 of the New Testament. Now, that's just amazing. Somebody that wrote 2/3 of the New Testament changed his name once he met Jesus. But before he met Jesus, he was one of the worst people you could think of as far as, like, us as Christians and stuff like that. He was as they put it, a Hebrew of Hebrews. He was one of the high priests. It's hot up here. But anyways, he was the high priest. He was like the top dog. He was pretty much close enough to the Pope, which would be back then. And he was always going around and he was stoning people. He was killing anybody that was claiming to be a Christian, or at that time called the Way. If they were in any way of that, they immediately went to the other high priest and said, hey, I've got this person like that. And I mean, he was like a little girl, kind of. Because he was like, hey. So, I got this person over here named Josh. And I think he's been praying, not in the synagogue. So you tell Alex, and then you tell Brittany, and then you tell Hunter, and we're all going to go over there, and then we're going to stone him. I've got it all down. I've got my old Instagram that's written on a stone. Got proof. And that's how we're going to kill him. So, that was bye-bye Josh. If that happened, that was bye-bye Josh. Josh was no more. He was stoned. They had all the rights. That's this guy. So, when you think about it, somebody that wrote 2/3 of the Bible was that bad of a guy. Do y'all think y'all are that bad? That y'all would just go around and kill somebody just because? Anyways, we're going to get into Acts 9:1-6. It'll probably be up on the back here. If it's not, it's on those notes. Everybody look at your notes. I know you're not looking at your notes. I see it. All right. Anyways, it says, meanwhile, Saul, remember, this is before his change. He was named Saul. Meanwhile, Saul was breathing out murderous threats against the Lord's disciples. He went to the high priest and asked him for letters to the synagogues in Damascus, so that if he found any that were belonged to the way, which again is Christians, whether men or women, he might take them as prisoners to Jerusalem. As he neared Damascus on his journey, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. He fell to the ground and heard a voice say, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? Who are you, Lord? Kind of funny that he would ask that question of a big light. I mean, if I see a big light, I'm either thinking an alien or God. I don't know which one. But anyways, he fell to the ground, and of course he asked, Jesus said, I am Jesus whom you are persecuting. Now get up and go into the city, and you will be told what to do. Now there's a whole lot in Acts 9. I suggest you read it. I suggest you go through the Bible and read about Saul and his later conversion to Paul. Because, I mean, it's better than most of these movies that are being made, because it's just insane. So what happens is, he gets up, and he's got 7 guys around him. So he's got his own little posse. He's like a, I would say probably maybe 50 Cent or something back in the day. He's got his robe on and all that. And all these people, they see a light, but they don't see Jesus. They don't hear anybody. They're just like, okay, there's this bright light. Obviously, the sun decided to grace this area right here where this maybe flower might be blooming. I don't know. But they don't see anything. But Saul gets up, and Saul becomes blind. So Saul can't see anything, so he tells them, hey, we're going to go to Jerusalem. Or, not Jerusalem. We're going to go up, and we're going to go to the city. And just lead me on, because I'm blind now. I've been shot 5 times by the Holy Spirit. Or 9 times, I think it was 9. But anyways, they told him to go on, and he leaves them there. Well, what happens is just amazing on that, which is what I'll read to next. But what I want to say is, with a person like Saul, and I just told you how bad he is and how he wanted to kill anybody that was a Christian, anybody that claimed even close to it, how or who would want to help somebody with a name that has a bad reputation? Who wants to help anybody that basically is just out to help themselves? You might find that at work. You might find that at school. I know there's plenty of bullies and stuff like that. Are you willing to help somebody that doesn't really want to help themselves, or somebody that has such a reputation that you don't even want to be associated with them because you're like, I don't know if I want to go hang out with that person because, you know, they might smoke, they might do some bad things, they might vandalize cars, and I don't want that reputation with me. I mean, show of hands, would anybody want to do that? Would anybody want to go hang out with somebody that when you look at them, you go, that's not the type of reputation I want. I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I want to be called a nerd. I don't know if I want to be called a bad boy or a bad girl, or even, for some, a goody two-shoes. Somebody that just doesn't do anything, and you're like, oh, well, I don't want to hang out with them because all they're going to do is play Pictionary. And they're going to play charades, and it's probably every word's going to be, I don't know. What does this one make? I bet you it makes God. I bet you it makes God. No, it was a goose. Dang it. But the next one was God. Oh, Jesus too. Jesus too. We did that one time in Pictionary. Everybody did one. Rolled them all out. We got a J. Guess who didn't choose Jesus? Nobody. But anyways, I digress on that. But anybody that has a bad name, a bad reputation, somebody that you just cannot stand, who would want to do that? Well, this person coming up did. Well, he didn't really want to, but then he was told to, and he did it. And now he's one of the amazing ones in the Bible. His name was Ananias. And in Acts 9:13 through 15, it says, Lord, Ananias answered. And it says, I have heard many reports about this man and all the harm he has done to your holy people in Jerusalem. And he has come here with authority from the chief priest to arrest all who call on your name. But the Lord said to Ananias, Go, this man is my chosen instrument to proclaim my name to the Gentiles and their kings and to the people of Israel. I will show him how much he must suffer for my name. So that's just, in a way, just kind of crazy. Just somebody's just sitting there praying at first. You know, Ananias probably wasn't even thinking anything about the guy. Just, you know, God, thank you for my donkey and my ox and for the great crops that you're going. And then he just hears, go. What? Oh, what? No. And then he, you know, hears, go see this man, and he tells them the name of Saul. And he's like, wait a minute, God. Whoa, pump the brakes. Saul? You want me to go see Saul? That would be like me praying, and all of a sudden he says, go see Justin Bieber. Whoa, God, whoa. Justin Bieber, not gonna happen. I'll maybe let somebody else, I'll let Brittany go see Justin Bieber, but not me. But he says, no, you must go because this guy is an instrument for me, and he's going to have to suffer. So he's like, okay, you know what, I'm going to go. So Ananias goes, finds the guy, and actually prays over the guy. Just, you know, Saul's over there blind, probably doing the, you know, probably just doing this, like, what's going on? Everybody doing good? And here's Ananias like, hey, I got you. Let me see your hand. Put my hand over your eyes. Just put my other hand, you know, on the courteous, like, shoulder. Like everybody that prays, just courteous shoulder, just, dear Lord. And he prays. And what's not in your notes is when he prayed, the blindness came off of Saul. He wasn't blind anymore, and like scales, like almost like a snake scales or a snake skin, the little scaly parts. I know everybody's held a snake before, so. Anyways, that just fell off and just like to the ground, and he was able to see. And he stayed with Ananias, or Ananias stayed with him for about 3 days and just talked to him and invested in him. And that was the next one that I kind of skipped over for a second, but it's how do we invest in you? and that's just kind of a rhetorical question. That's something y'all need to ask yourselves. And we, as leaders, still need to ask, how do we invest in you? How do we come and make anything real, make all this stuff about Christ make sense? How do we invest and show you this is Christ, not what you've seen on the TVs, not what you've seen in some of the media and stuff like that. How do we show you what's real in Christ? And that's something that you need to let some of us know. If you say, hey, if you really want to invest, I've got this problem. If you really want to invest, help me out with this. Do that, because we want to invest in you, and that's what we are trying to do. By doing anything we can, by doing these groups, by coming here for 180 and doing this of our free time, we want to invest in you because we love y'all. We want to show you that love. As much as y'all sometimes want to be like, I'm just here because my parents dropped me off, and whenever 8:15 gets here and I'm going to leave, I'm going to go play Xbox, and I'm going to go watch Game of Thrones, or watch the end of True Blood because it's almost over one more episode. I think Bill's going to die. Anyways, that's how y'all probably think. But we are just like, hey, we want to be interested in what y'all are interested in. We care about y'all. If you got something wrong, come to us. Give one of our come to one of us if you need our numbers. We'll gladly give you our number, and we'll text you throughout the day. We'll do anything we can to help you. That's how we want to invest. If there's any other way to invest, let us know so that we can try it out. See how it goes. Anyways, that's what Ananias did. First, simple, he prayed. He prayed over him. Then he spent 3 days encouraging him and helping him out and getting him ready for what he was going to later do. So, I want to ask you a question, or actually, I want to make a statement. It takes only one person to change the course of someone's life. There's been plenty of people that, whether they go good or they decide to stay away from Christ and they go bad, it's always one person that could have made the difference. Just one person could have said something different to Adolf Hitler to not do the stuff that he did. It could have been one person. It was one person that, same thing with Stalin and all that. It was one person that decided to make a dumb act that made World War I and II happen. It was all those things that it was just one person. There's somebody in your life right now that you could be that one person to talk and change their life. Whether good or bad, that's your decision. I mean, if you want to lead them down the wrong road, that's your decision, and that's what you got to live with. If you want to say, hey, man, girl, whatever it is, I just want to love, I just want to say, I love you. I just want to give you a smile. Anything can change somebody's life. There's been plenty of times everybody says it, and it's very much true. A smile. All it takes is a smile to make somebody's day. Because I've had it where I've walked and nobody's smiling at me, and that one person makes a smile and my day becomes better. Because I know somebody says, you know what, that person's alright. I'm going to smile at that person because I want to make his day feel better. And that could be the difference between something like that happened with Robin Williams just recently. All it takes is one word. A word, a smile, a look, a glance, a thumbs up. Anything can make the difference between somebody committing suicide and somebody reaching out to somebody else and saving a life. So, that's just it. And the big thing I want to do too is, will you invest in someone's life? Will you actually take that challenge? And I know we've said it plenty of times. Guys, just bring one person with you. Invest in one person. I challenge you to invest in one person and see what difference it makes. I've invested in a lot of people, and that's what I love to do. And I don't do it to I don't invest in like hundreds of people at a time. I like to invest in very few people because I want them to see how I care about them. I've invested a lot of time with Josh. I've invested a lot of time with Michael and Brittany and Ashton and them because they are really close to me, and I've invested that time to show them how much I care. I don't have to sit there and go, hey, Michael, I really care about you. I'm your friend. No, I can just sit there, come over to his house, and then we go play disc golf. We go shop every once in a while. That's how we got shoes. We got the buy one, get one half off. With Brittany, me and Brittany will talk, and all I got to do is just sit there and listen to what she has to say. That's it. I don't have to say anything to Brittany. I can just go, yep. That was a dumb mistake they made. Those kids are crazy. Yep. Okay. I got you. Ashton, all I have to do is sit there and listen and then go, yep, Michael made that mistake. Even my mom has invested a lot into me and my brothers and all that, but I invest a lot of time with my mom. My mom hated it when I went off to college. When I went off to college, she thought it was going to be like the greatest thing in the world. She was like, I'm going to go spend more time with my husband. We're just going to party now that my youngest child's out of the house. We're just going to go wild. Of course, my stepdad thought this too. It wasn't but 4 days. 4 days after I moved down to Cleveland, Mississippi, she calls me, Drew, my husband is getting on my last nerve. He won't leave me alone. I don't have anybody else to talk to. All your friends are gone now. I don't have all these people coming in my house. Please come back home. And I'm like, Mom, I can't come back home, but I'll talk to you on the phone for an hour and listen to the problems and all that stuff. It'll be all right. But I mean, that's the thing. She invests a lot of time. She loves me and all that, and I love her back. So who will you invest in someone's life? Who are you going to say, I want to invest my time in that? And it can just be one, like I said, one person. That's all it needs to be. That one person. So he did that. Then we skip on down to Acts 9, 26 through 27. And when Saul, when he came to Jerusalem, he tried to join the disciples. But they were afraid of him, not believing that he was a disciple. But Barnabas took him and brought him to the apostles. He told them how Saul on his journey had seen the Lord, and that the Lord had spoken to him, and how in Damascus he had preached fearlessly in the name of Jesus. So, on that one, I want y'all to put in the blank, stand up for the person you're investing in. If you have that one person that you're investing in, and you know that they've got a bad reputation and all that, but you've seen the change, invest in that person and stand up for them. Because it doesn't mean anything if you say you're investing in somebody and somebody talks trash saying, well, that person's not this way because I saw them, before the change. Well, this is how he really is. And if you don't stand up, then your words mean nothing. I mean, you're just being fake. Just plain and simple. If anybody ever says anything bad about my friends, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to puff up. And I'm going to be like, look, I know how they are. This is how they are. This is who they are. And this is why I think you're wrong. Because I've invested time. I've gotten to know that person. And I'm going to show trust. And I'm going to show loyalty to that person by standing up. So do y'all all get that? If you don't stand up for somebody, same thing. If you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. If you don't stand up for somebody, somebody's not ever going to catch you when it's time for you to fall. So you got to stand up. And the last, of course, that was my statement. If y'all want to write this in, I know y'all don't have it, and it's a little bit on the, I guess, not showy side, but corny side, a little Michael-ish, a little bit. But anyways, and you can write it in. It says, if you have a bad reputation, your actions will speak volumes more than your words ever could in your new shoes. And in this, I'm just talking about with your new shoes is your new life. If you're a Christian, if you just got accepted and, to be a Christian, and you had that bad reputation, guess what? Words aren't going to do anything. You can sit there and say all day long to a brick wall, I'm saved, I did this, and I'm doing great, and I love Jesus, and I read my Bible, but you don't do it. Nobody knows anything. You don't come to 180. You don't do anything to actually show that you got saved. Then those mean nothing. It's just like, okay, well, I'm a great trumpet player, play all the time, but you never see me play a trumpet because I can't. But I can tell you I play the trumpet, and I play it well, and I've been in bands that were air bands that played it, but it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it really doesn't. So that's that statement. The last statement that I want to make, and it's again another corny one, is: do you want new shoes, or do you want to keep the old shoes? Do you want to keep the old raggedy shoes? I'm just going to take these off. I know they probably stink. equipment at work. But do you want these shoes? And I wish I had brought my old shoes, but I was scared I was going to get bit by a spider, so I didn't really want to get in there. But do you want these old shoes that are raggedy, that are torn up, that you have nothing new to say to them? You're just like, okay, well, these are all right. My toes hanging out the side of it. And feel a little breeze if I lean to the left, and then if I kind of lean to the right, I might get another little breeze or so in there. And then, of course, the person next to me is just like, oh, yuck. These are worse than just burps. But anyways, that's just how it is. These new shoes feel great on my feet. These new shoes, yeah, I've had to break them in and get used to them and go, okay, I'm walking in them now. I got them. Before it was like, oh gosh, it's been 8 hours. I'm just ready to sit down. But now I'm like, oh yeah, I've got it. I got the walk now. I got them in. I can squeeze them in, do a little dance. Mashed potatoes sometimes, I like to say. But I get them in. And they feel awesome. They feel great, and it's a way that I'm going to be. It's my new it's the verse for this is 2 Corinthians 5:17, which is, you are a new creation, the old is past, behold the new has come. I know I'm using some different translation than what most people use, but it's what I remember it as. So are you going to put on those new shoes and throw away the old self, throw away your old name, basically, of it? Because that's basically what it is. Somebody goes, oh yeah, I know Drew before he got saved. Yeah, you knew me before I got saved, but I'm totally different. It's been 13 years. It's been 13 years. My name's different. I do go by Drew. I don't go by my given name, which is Andrew, which is totally different. You know, professionally I go by Andrew, but the way everybody knows me is Drew. And that means something to me, because when somebody has to professionally call me, hey Andrew, I'm like, you don't know me. But when somebody's like, Drew, I'm like, what's up? How's it going? And that's the thing, that's your name, that's what you go by. Now the old Drew, yeah, he was a goody, he was a good guy, he was a goody two shoes and all that. But his thoughts, his desires were not. I wasn't. I was in my heart and in my mind, I was bad. I was sinful and I wanted everything that was wrong for me. Now, I'm a totally different person. I want to help others. I love to help others. And I love to show them off, which is the next part of what I wanted to say. Which is, in your new shoes, are you ready to move and show off to others? I want to show y'all my new shoes. I love these new shoes. I love to show off anything that I find in the Bible. I want to tell somebody. And normally the first person I tell is Josh back there. I'm like, hey Josh, I read this in the book of, Job, which I love Job. Job is an awesome book to read. But I'll tell him, and then I call Michael, and I'm like, Michael, what about this? And then me and Michael will have a debate. Me and Josh don't debate. Me and Josh just kind of, I tell him he's crazy, and he tells me I'm crazy, and then that's it. Me and Michael, we're coming over there, and we're just like, well, what about this idea? And what about this? Did you ever think of it like this? And did you ever think of that? Did you ever think that Adam really didn't have a belly button, and neither did Eve, but then maybe their kids thought that they were crazy because they had a belly button, because they had an umbilical cord? And so did they think they were freaks because their parents didn't have one? Like, what? When did that happen? Well, it probably did. That's how it is. That's how minds think, and how me and Michael just connect, because we battle off each other and we're like, okay, well, this is your view, this is my view, let's figure it out. Let's come up with something. We don't argue about it, but we have fun. We like to show off our new shoes, our new way of thinking. Anything like that. So guys, I just want to say, if you decide tonight, or if you decide tomorrow, or whenever you decide to put on the new shoes, the new life, just know that you're in good company here with us and the leaders and what we have to offer for y'all, because we want to invest in you. If you already know Christ, still get to come with us and just learn how to walk, because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people are just like, okay, I'm saved, now what? We want to teach you that. We want to show you what to do, how to walk, not just to just stand there and go, I got new shoes. How you like that? I got new shoes. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm just standing on this box. We want you to walk and go, all right, I got new shoes. Got that pimp walk going. Got that walk. Got that Jesus juice. All right, guys, so just, that's what I wanted to preach to y'all, and just show y'all that Saul, who became Paul, who changed his name, went from somebody that was on the extreme over here that was just downright awful to somebody that wrote 2/3 of the Bible. Like, I don't know a bigger transformation of coming to Christ than that. Somebody that should not even have had the chance to lead anybody anywhere to somebody that's now helped lead millions and millions of people to Christ.